Hello, hello, hello. Good morning on this World Cup kickoff day for the summer of 26, a global soccer showdown with the Netherlands supporting Qooligan over there and myself, Gary Striker. Qooligan, it's arrived. All this planning, all this talk, all this hype. We are, do you feel like a young child on a Christmas Eve morning waiting to unwrap some presents, or are you,
I feel like an aged grandpa that's wondering why all the youngsters are running around making so much noise in the morning. Like, go back to bed.
It's 4 a.m.
You little monsters.
You've been buried in a lot of copy on hooligan-soccer.com, of course, so I know that's been a lot, right?
No. Am I excited about it? Sure. You know, one of my children's he's going to go into the Mission in San Francisco for a watch party. You know, there's a whole Mexico watch party. All of the Mission is essentially going to become one gigantic watch party for Mexico.
Yeah.
As it should be. I think that's very appropriate.
Yes.
You know, but for the Qooligan, no, Qooligan staying at home. It's like, no thanks. One, it's extremely hot in the Bay Area. It's supposed to hit triple digits out here, which is unusual for us. So I'm thinking the best thing to do is just to basically sit on my couch and watch the game. I may venture out for the South Korea game. And see what's happening locally with some of that stuff. But and then tomorrow I will go to a U.S. men's national team watch party in Oakland.
Wonderful.
There's one in West Oakland that I'm really interested in. So apparently I just got a press release that 20,000 fans have signed up for the U.S. men's national team watch party in San Jose.
Incredible.
Down in one of the plazas down there. So it does. I do think there's going to be vibe. There's going to be energy. But it is going to be isolated. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems with hosting in 3 different countries is that it's really big. And it's hard to concentrate that, you know, you don't really have that natural concentration of places, you know. I'm sure Mexico City is losing its mind. You know, I'm hearing really interesting things that it is both exulting, it's really celebratory, and also really, really confrontational happening down in Mexico.
Okay.
Big unrest, lots of strikes, lots of people using this as an opportunity.
There was some protest stuff I did see. I saw that on social.
Of course, right? And of course it's going to happen, right? That's a natural consequence of any type of major sporting event, is that you're going to have people who are going to turn up to try and squeeze in some other agendas. Fine. Yeah. Sure. No worries. Right. Keep it civil. Make your point. You know,
enjoy the game.
Then raise a beer and enjoy the game, right? It's like protest till the ball rolls. Enjoy the game, then you can continue protesting afterwards. By the way, I can't believe that Infantino wasn't booed in the press room with that nonsense interview. At least he didn't completely crap the bed like he did in Qatar. That was one of the most, honestly, how he managed to survive that execratory speech from 2022 defies me.
Well, I probably will need reminding which one, because I know there are a couple. There's a couple. We're all gay and we're all trans and we're all this.
I'm like, oh no, you're not.
Yeah. No. Oh my God.
The only group that he didn't include, which was the only one that he could have included himself in, was I am bald. But he didn't include that one. But I think the biggest thing that got me was, and I don't know if you noticed, he needed to take a 15-second pause, because I think he was going to publicly throw up before stating the line. He said, remember, every dollar that we earn goes back into football. He had to take a 15-second pause before he said that line, because you could see all the vomit coming. He's about to spew. It's like a pitch perfect moment where the spewing on stage.
You could see it.
And you could see it, because it's like, you know, that's not true. It's not true.
But Qooligan, I listen, I know we're deviating slightly, and it's okay because it's there, but listen, I don't disagree with anything you're saying,
Yeah,
but the one thing you do have to give Gianni Infantino is he is a first-grade politician, an absolute top-rate, first-rate politician. And as you say,
I
he has
wouldn't
that
use that specific noun, but sure, I'll go with first-rate something.
First rate,
totally.
yeah. I mean, it's but oh look, he will, as we've discussed many times, he will find the loopholes and he'll check all the boxes and sort of all the rest of it. But look, he's again, it's almost we are all sort of pilgrims in this religion of the beautiful game, and we'll follow it regardless in a way and love it, of course, and we'll get opium for the masses, as the saying goes, right?
The game, right?
Really is,
I don't really know. I really don't really know about FIFA or him, to be fair, but we'll wait and see. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't think. I mean, I think just that. I don't know. I just really, I don't like blatant lies like that. I mean, listen, they're going to make $14 billion, and I know that it costs them billions of dollars to put on this fiasco.
That's true.
I get it. I understand, and I understand the realities of their fiscal cycle. They're on a 4-year cycle. 1 year they make money, the other years they don't.
Well, they're changing that with the other tournaments.
No,
they've
changed that. In fact,
yeah.
That's why this financial cycle is going to be much more. But anybody who has half a brain, and since FIFA has to publish and disclose all of their financial records because they are a nonprofit, and under Swiss law, that's what you must do.
Mm-hmm.
People can go in and do their own math.
Yeah.
He's not giving $14 billion back to regional soccer or global football over the next 4 years. That's not going to happen.
Of course.
Maybe 4 to 5 billion of that will go back. I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of it. Nobody does. It just disappears.
Those FIFA executives live well. I can tell you, they live well. They do live very well. They live well.
And the most aggrandizing thing is they consider themselves football, and that's even the most disappointing. Did you watch Infantino try to play? Holy crap! I kick a ball.
The corner. Did you see the corner? You see the corner kick? You saw the corner kick. It
wasn't a corner kick. He shanked it into the stands.
Well, that's the attempted corner kick, I should say. Yes, it was. It's politics. It's narrative management. It's all the rest of it. But anyway,
we do have a game today. A big game.
Two games today.
Well, yeah, I know. We're going to talk about we're going to talk. One game in 3 hours and 20 minutes, another game in, Lord knows, 12 more hours.
Yeah. So we've got Mexico kicking off the host match. We've kind of covered this as well. I think when we've obviously
we've talked
about it as well, and we think Mexico. It's going to. Well, I'm really looking forward to just the atmosphere.
Are you willing to go on record and put a score in? Talk to me, G.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Prediction. We're getting into the prediction cycles.
I'm just curious. What are you thinking? And if you steal my score, I'm going to be very upset.
Well, I don't know what score is, so I can't steal it as well. But I'll say this again. There's emotions that come into this as well. As I say, I think I mentioned before, I spent nearly a decade living in South Africa. So that country is very, very close to my heart. And I do want to see them do well. I want to see the African continent do well. I think it'll be more the North and the West African teams that will actually be the dominant African teams. But again, the only thing that I think will get in the way of Mexico is just kind of like nerves, first night nerves, and that will be the opportunity. I think that's there. But I think really what we want, I want to see a spectacle. This is kind of like, this is when my son comes and asks me and says, like, Real Madrid against Bayern, who do you want to win? Or I just want to see a good game. I really want to see an entertaining game. And the best thing that can happen is an early goal. Get an early goal, particularly on the Mexico side. That Azteca will just explode and erupt in a good way, not obviously in a sort of volcanic way, but just from an atmospheric perspective. And then all of a sudden the World Cup has come to life, and then all of a sudden there'll be a party. I'm actually getting goosebumps now talking about it now, and I think I'm going to go down into Austin today, which is where I'm based. There's Austin FC have also done a watch party. I've got tickets for tomorrow for the US game, and I think actually I'll go down and watch the Mexico game and go and drink some Mexican beer with the Mexican super.
By the way, that was an insipid and non-committed answer. But
2-1 Mexico. There we go. 2-1 Mexico.
But heartfelt. I'm going 3-1 Mexico. I'm actually gonna put a little stake down.
Yeah.
I do think it's gonna be 3-1 Mexico.
Yeah.
And I also agree. I think I would love to have a pool started. In what minute will the first goal be scored? Right. I think it would be very curious. So I agree. I want a good game. I with most games, I want the officials to be on top of it, but not the center point. I don't know if you heard, there was this big fracas yesterday in a game, in a friendly between Brazil and Australia.
Okay. They played recently.
No, sorry, excuse me. Brazil and the United States women's.
Yeah. Okay.
There were 8 red cards issued to Brazil in that game.
Wow.
Yes. 2 of them in the closing minutes of the match, 6 of them after the match. When Brazil swarmed the referee crew and the referee crew started flashing, and in fact, armed security guards had to cordon them off from, so.
Okay.
Let's just have none of that. None of that at this World Cup, please.
Yeah, I do always seem to recall, I remember the first round of games, you do see an excessively high number of yellow cards for a combination of nerves, new rules that have been implied, and also those referees that get drilled and they get told to really enforce the letter of the law to the T and actually sort of hold it up.
As they should.
And it'll be little things like, I remember when they bought the yellow cards. I remember a few World Cups ago where it was like you kick the ball away after the referee blows the whistle. That's a yellow card. Normally in domestic leagues, the referee lets those things slide. Here they are
not
on
anymore.
Them, and that's where yellow cards come out.
Not anymore in the domestic leagues either.
No, but I'm saying,
League, they see that you see that a lot. Yeah,
they've started tightening it up, and the World Cup is always kind of the showcase where they launch these new technologies. Do you remember was it 2010 or 2014 when they put the shaving foam around the ball to make sure that the ball's not being sort of moved forward for free kicks and those things, right?
Yeah,
and then it gets, so you start seeing like a new variation of the game, right? And obviously we're going to see these new rules, which is was it a minute? Is it the substitute gets a minute to come off or 30 seconds to come off, and then there's like 5 seconds for throw-ins and goal kicks just to keep the game moving along, which will be interesting.
They get 10 seconds to come off.
Yeah.
And then if they exceed that, the substitute must wait a minimum of 1 minute. And cannot come on until the next stoppage of play. This is the key thing. Yeah. What I did not realize is it's the stoppage of play. So they cannot then run on the field.
So they can't stop the clock in 60 seconds. You can come on. You have to wait till the stop and play to then come on.
Correct.
So if you have a really long passage of play, you could spend 3-4 minutes with 10 players for time wasting, right?
That's right.
I like that. I like that rule. That is a good rule.
Listen, again, I don't think it's a bad rule. I think what's going to happen is as soon as and this already happened in a friendly. Apparently, it was a friendly between Japan and possibly Tunisia. I can't remember the exact who it was. And the referee enforced that rule and said it wasn't Japan. Japan was the beneficiary because they had 11. They scored in that interim time between when they held the substitute and let him on the field. Japan scored a goal.
Yeah, because they were down to 10 men, and that's
whether it was down to 10 men or not. But the point is, all it takes is one of those happening, particularly for a team that is renowned for time wasting, Brazil.
Yeah.
Right. Or I mean, seriously, no. I mean, teams that really understand the dark side of the game,
play the dark arts of the game. Yeah.
This could be. You'll see it. And hopefully they'll do it early in the group stages where it won't really matter and people will get it and they'll understand, right, I got to get off the field.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a slow walk and a clap. Get the fuck off the field. You can do your slow walk on the sideline.
Play the game.
Come on,
play the game.
Seriously.
Just play the goddamn game, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the other one I think that has a bigger potential for impact is the hand over the mouth talking, because that's a red card. It's a straight red.
But there is a caveat to that rule, which is if it is done with sort of hostility or in a negative tone in a way, right?
Correct.
Because there could be a case where
they did put language in there that gives the referees an out.
Yeah.
But
because again, you do see this all the time. Players afterwards at the end of the game, they like having a conversation. I'm not saying there's anything because they just don't want to be lip read, right?
They don't want to be lip read.
Of course, and say, you played really shit today, blah, 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 banter and all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
But so there is a little big wiggle room.
It is key to note that card cannot be done when it's a member of your own team. So you're allowed to do that with your own teammates.
Okay.
You just can't do it to the opposition.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That's a key thing. So, and I'd say that after the game, likely if players are doing that, like because they're friends and the club mates, that's probably not going to be observed. They're really trying to prevent that
the verbal abuse, the
verbal abuse of Vinicius Jr. So they're really trying to prevent that kind of scenario. And again, I think before there was nothing anybody could do. They couldn't do anything, right? Now with this rule in effect, they can at least say, hey, there's no room for that after a goal scored. You run up to somebody and you got your hand over their mouth. You're probably not saying great goal.
Yeah,
that's right. Honestly. So no, it's fine. But again, all it takes is some big name getting something like that, right? I mean, you could see a number of players on a number of teams getting caught by that, right? There are certain Argentinian players I know of that make use of that all the time. And I'm not just talking about the guy who initiated the incidents against Vinicius, but you know, it's a common thing amongst a lot of elite players because they don't want what they say to be either misinterpreted or
it's just bad
spread
for the
out
brand
on social media.
I
get it.
Exactly. It's bad for the image. And then the other rule as well that came up was the one about the second yellow. VAR can review second yellow cards. Is that correct?
That's right.
So, and again, because I think I'm good with that. And again, why it didn't happen in the first place, I don't understand, because there have been many cases where second yellow cards have been given. You look back at the VAR and you're like, that was not a yellow, not even a foul. Actually, it's gone the other way. And so why? Well, I don't understand why it wasn't implemented. So I will say that, again, for all of FIFA's negative connotations that we have for them, I do believe that they are putting in these rules to actually sort of advance the game and make it more enjoyable, more fluid, and fair, and sort of unfair in a way.
And we'll see exactly just how it all pans out. I think it should improve the game without a doubt. You know, and again, of course they've got some new VAR technology and some other things like that, but most people won't notice that. That's more behind the scenes. I know we've completely deviated from the original agenda, which is absolutely fine as well. I do have a question for you on the refereeing side of things. Do you remember in the Club World Cup they trialed those ref cams, right, where they actually sort of had their glasses? Ref cam. Yeah, they'll have
the
that
ref
here.
Cams, and I really enjoyed that. It's kind of it's similar to me. It lets you sort of inside the game a little bit more. It's kind of like, I love watching Formula One, and I think one of the best things they did was they let you listen to the radio conversations between the teams in the pit, right?
Sure.
And so it just gets you inside and what they're thinking now. I wonder if they'll deploy it here, because it did in the Club World Cup. I don't think it really happened in any of the domestic leagues around the world post this last season.
The Premier League trialed it in a number of games.
In a few games, but they didn't stick.
Yeah, they did,
right?
but they didn't make it mandatory. I'll be honest with you. As a, I have never worn a camera. I've worn comms. Okay. And comms by themselves are already bulky enough. I mean, Lord Almighty, you've got this just gigantic thing on your arm or in the small of your back, and you got this thing, and you have to tape it to your face because you sweat. You know, I mean, it's
really
not fun. It's really not a great experience. But then to put a camera on the side of your head, it's really it just seems really onerous.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. You become more a walking piece of technology. But I do like the camera, because what it does for me is it allows people to see just how fast the game is and how, literally how difficult it is to call some of this stuff, right? I mean, and your camera is not an eye. Your eyes actually have a much wider field of vision than the camera possibly can. So you can still see things that the camera might not pick up with your eye. But yes, at least now people finally go, wow, I never really thought it was that fast. And just how many bodies pass in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Even a referee who moves around a lot during a game.
Yeah.
They cover 5+ miles every game on this professional level. They try their best to be in the good position, but still bodies get in front of you and you can't see stuff. So I like the cam. I like the cam. Big fan.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan. It does. It just lets you inside. It also, I think we discussed this last time for the Club World Cup. It's kind of a sort of a tool that just gives you a lot more empathy for the referee, as you say, because also you can just see, like they blow the whistle and all the players come running at them and they're in their face and they're sort of shouting at them. And so that's the other thing, the rule that they're breaking down now as well, is a hard line of only the captain can speak to the referee.
That's been in effect. That's been in effect since 2025. But that came into effect in the Club World Cup.
Yeah. But again, I think you'll see a few more yellow cards dished out because there will be some emotions and some reactions to some decisions that will happen, and you'll see a few more yellow cards.
Everybody's emotions are going to be disgustingly high in this, right?
Yeah.
So
it's exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then, so in terms of other sort of like exciting things that are coming on, there's the other rule as well, which is the one about did you see if a player feigns an injury and goes down, they have to, they have to go off for a minute.
Correct.
Is that correct?
It's either 1 or 2 minutes. I can't remember. I know in the MLS it's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I don't know exactly what the FIFA rule settled on. I'd have to go back and double check that. But I know that it's at least a minute, and it could possibly be 2. Yeah.
So for me, this is the only rule that I think has wiggle room to be manipulated and distorted from its original intention, right? Because the idea is it's meant to stop a player rolling around and feigning injury to obviously delay tactics and slow the game down and the flow and all the rest of it. But what happens if we're playing and all of a sudden I come crackling into you, okay, you genuinely get hurt, okay, you're on the floor holding your knee or your ankle or whatever it is, and then the ref says you have to go off for 2 minutes.
No.
Is that not what happens?
No, that's not what happens.
Okay.
My understanding is that in legitimate cases where somebody was, hurt, they are allowed to, they must leave the field of play. That's always been a rule for a long time. That's been a rule, but they are allowed to come back in. This is where the fourth official comes into play.
Yeah.
Okay. So the fourth official previously the fourth official didn't have that much to do. Now they play a much larger role in the game because they're the ones whose watch manages all of this stuff. And so they can say to the referee, do I hold or do I let them back on? They can now then say the player can go back on, right? And as long as the referee gives the signal. If the referee's like, he's faking it, then, right, if the referee says he's faking it, they can decide to hold, and that fourth official will hold them back. Is a discretionary rule. Right. That's what I want to be clear. It's not every time you go down and hold your knee. And it's only when the medical staff come on the field. Right. You can go down, pretend to be hurt, bounce right back up before the guys come out in the field and you're fine. They're not going to do anything to you. Right.
Okay.
But, and it's not going to stop Neymar from his 20-yard rolls. I mean, that drama will still be there, but it is a discretionary rule, because if somebody is legitimately
hurt and injured,
if you slide tackle, the guy goes down, you have to come out, make sure that he's okay. That's fine. Like people go up butt heads, they got to go off to get the concussion protocol checked. That's all going to work the way it's normally worked. This is really. It's for all those cases that we all know about. The goalkeeper who takes a goal kick and then suddenly seizes up and goes down and spends a minute trying to, waiting for treatment. By the way, that's the big
other
question.
Rule,
I got to double check on the goalkeeper rule, because I know now in youth league, goalkeeper must exit the field of play now, and you're allowed to swap in a temporary goalkeeper.
Okay, are you bringing the
no more goalkeeper? Okay. I can get treated on the field for 2 minutes and then continue to play
the game. Okay.
I don't think that's happened in this particular effect, but watch it with goalkeepers.
Okay.
But field players, if the referee believes that they're feigning,
interesting,
they're going to be out for a bit.
And then speaking of goalkeepers and delay tactics as well, the same rule, isn't it? Is if a goalkeeper takes longer than 5 seconds to take a goal kick, a corner is awarded. Is that correct?
It is 8.
It's 8 seconds? Okay.
It's 8 seconds. The first 3 are a silent count. On 5, the referee puts the hands up and counts down visually.
Okay.
Right? Then at that.
And then corner. Okay, interesting.
They don't have to yell. They just have to put the hand up, right?
Show it
up, but and that's an interesting thing. and then also there's something about throw-ins. You have to do similarly with throw-ins. I believe
within 5 seconds.
It's 5 seconds for throw-ins.
Yeah, or it goes the other way. Yeah.
I don't know if they have to do a count or if they can just do that silent. I hope it's silent, because I'll tell you something. As a referee, the one thing that I don't want is my arm up the entire goddamn game having to do this, right? Because remember, you got a whistle in one hand and you got your other hand here doing something else.
Plus all the technology and all the other exoskeleton of technology.
Come on,
like
man.
Madonna in the 80s.
If I was the referee, I'd probably put my hand in front of the camera, and then people would be like, move your hand.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You get feedback that way. But no, I think it's on the whole, most people won't notice the new rule changes. If they really do what they're supposed to do, and as long as people aren't trying to abuse it, and there will be people trying to abuse it, you shouldn't see most of these rule changes having a significant effect on the game.
I think generally what will happen is there will be one country or there will be one player who will get caught out by it, and because we know all the other teams are watching, and everyone's like, okay, well, we don't want to do that, and that will be they'll make one example, and it should be good.
That's right, and that's usually the case with rules.
Yeah,
right. I mean, one of the reasons referees have yellow cards is it's their way of saying, chill the fuck out.
Warning. Yeah,
it's like
you've warned. Yeah,
once and to prove I will do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I have had in heated games where I know the two teams are opposed to each other. I have given yellow cards in the first 3 minutes of a game, precisely to tell them
just to defuse the situation.
With me.
Yeah,
if you go in hard, you will get a yellow card. Diffuses the entire. Everybody just
instantly
goes, right. This guy's serious.
We means business. Yeah,
we got you. We got you.
Yeah,
we got you. Yeah.
And then the other thing, just on sort of the, as I say, the nuance of the variations of the game as it evolves as well. I remember in Qatar, they would do the kickoff right away. They would actually have the screen and do the countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then the player would kick off. Yeah, is there? I don't think they did it for the Club World Cups. So my sense is
believe yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Did they do it? So do you think it'll be interesting to see if FIFA actually sort of follow through with that as well?
No, they were doing it. They've done it in all the friendlies.
Okay. Oh, so then it'll be there.
All the friendlies.
And
no, interestingly, I think the biggest rule change. And it's not a rule change. This is a temporary change just for this tournament. The biggest change that will have impact on the game is the mandatory water break.
Yes.
Because now all of a sudden we're not playing halves.
Quarters.
We are now playing 4 quarters.
Yeah. And is it 3-minute water break or something like that? So there's enough time to for basically
2 minute. It is a 2-minute water break that occurs between the 21st and the 23rd minute at a natural stoppage of play.
Yeah. Okay. So you're basically a nice time to squeeze 3 30-second ads in there as well and further monetize the game as well, right? So yeah.
Right. To be fair, the Mexican leagues have been doing this for 2 years. They've been during those things or during substitutions. They squeeze the image and put an ad in.
Yeah.
That's not new. And anybody who says that this is a desecration or a change, they haven't been watching the modern game. This has been happening for a while. Doesn't happen with. I get it. Doesn't happen with the Premier League, but you Premier League people are living in a fucking bubble.
And they don't play in the heat. They don't play in 100-degree heat, right?
No, but I've seen hydration breaks in Premier League games. Because they start in August and it's warm.
They did that during COVID. Do you remember during COVID when they restarted again? They actually put the hydration break in as well. So they have, they have sort of manipulated this. So again,
and it's necessary. I mean, Lord Almighty, like when your wet bulb temperature is above 88 degrees, it is nasty out there. I mean, I'm doing some games this weekend, and we've already been warned. You will have to do hydration breaks, kids. I mean, there's no way you can go in and. Especially on turf, outdoors, right?
Yeah.
When if
notice it's
wet, and notice it's wet bulb temperature, right? Not air temperature. They have special thermometers on the field which measure in the effective humidity as well. Because 85 degrees with a 70% humidity hits the body a lot, much different than 95 degrees with 15% humidity, right? They both need hydration breaks, but for different
but it's different. No, it's like we've been in the South, you've been in Florida where it's like walking through treacle, isn't it? It's just thick air and it's hard, right? And that's, I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Qooligan, I think we're sort of coming up on time. Just a quick word as well about the second game as well. We have Czech Republic.
We got to talk about the
Czechia.
second game. As one of our correspondents wrote, it is the most important game that nobody's talking about.
But because it determines the outcome of obviously who wins first, gets first place.
Because
is that why?
It will have it matters to Group A, and our correspondent writes about the Mexican team and is based in Mexico City. So I get that. And of course, for the South Korean fans and the Czech Republic or Czechia fans out there, this one matters. I do think there's a certain element of truth to this. Listen, it's getting squeezed in between the three host nations all playing, right? You got Mexico kicking off, you got the United States kicking off tomorrow, you got Canada playing tomorrow, and then in between you got poor South Korea and Czechia in some, basically in the north of Mexico, in Guadalajara, going, "Hey, we're still here. Pay attention to us, right?" I feel for them. And I think from a tactical perspective, this is a really interesting game, right? Czech Republic should not rightfully have even been here.
They qualified, didn't they? Yeah,
they qualified the hard way through penalty kicks, right? And good on them. I mean, that shows a certain steeliness and a discipline. And so, I mean, I'm not saying they don't deserve. They just come on, by all stretches, they were the longest of the long shots, other than Bosnia. Bosnia was the other long shot that squeezed in. So, South Korea I think is going to have a hard time. They are defensively sound, the Czechs. They're big and strong in the back, and South Korea is going to have a really hard time trying to break apart. I do think there's enough skill in the South Korean team. They can carve through the lines. That they can. If the one problem with the Czech Republic is they're a little bit stolid and slow. They're not the speediest team. So look for South Korea to try and hit them on that counter and try to just sort of dazzle them in with some cuts and some runs and some interesting moves on that front. So
they are very good like that. I mean, obviously some of the players as well. I mean, Heung-min, obviously, he's obviously sort of their star player. This will be his last World Cup as well. Just looking at some of their players, but again, like Kang-in Lee, who plays for PSG, he is a legitimate, really, really good right winger. So I think I think the Czech Republic are in trouble here. I think South Korea should.
They should. I have faith that they'll be able to pull this one out. I think it's going to be tight, though. I mean, I don't think they win by more than a goal.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's okay. Well, Qooligan, that brings us up on time. We've done it. 3 hours until kickoff. It's exciting. Hooligan-soccer.com. Go check us out. Follow us on the socials. Share, like, follow, subscribe, all those wonderful things. I'm getting excited now. I'm officially excited. I think it's time to go and crack a beer, even if it is 11 o'clock my time. But we're going to get into this. Yeah.
Too early for me, but I'm with you in spirit.
It's time. Wonderful. All right, Qooligan. See you later.
Holland. Peace.